come build Lego with me. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about X-Men, so building Lego. So look at this NASCAR Chevrolet Lego set that I probably made this back in like December, but I only got around to making this video now. I'm trying to chill out because it's my first talking video on YouTube, but so I don't want to get too nervous. Disclaimer, I will be switching accents back and forth because I can't help it. This is how I talk in real life, and this is the only way for me to film this without stuttering and stumbling my words. So I just want to talk about, I went to watch in cinemas. I talked about on TikTok, I did say I went to watch First Class and then Days of Future Past back to back. So I just wanted to talk a bit about that. I don't want to talk about the timeline errors too much because I used to make TikToks all the time. I had like a TikTok series back like 4 years ago. I went through every single time mistake that I noticed, like Moira like being Scottish one in the original trilogy and then like becoming American in the prequels, as well as like Trask changing race, which doesn't make sense. Can we just talk about how that makes sense? Because First Class is supposed to be like and like a part of Days of Future Past is supposed to be the original timeline, and then the timeline. Okay, we're not even going to discuss that because I will just get too heated. I still think I have in my notes that like all the mistakes that they had, and I don't want to go through them now, but you know, I have a very strong opinion on all the timeline mistakes that don't make sense. But anyways, I do just think that the timeline and everything is interesting about X-Men. Like I understand it because I'm a devoted fan, but trying to explain the timeline issues to anyone else it just confuses them. And like even trying to explain the chronology of the whole franchise is like just as confusing. So just, if you want to get into X-Men movies, just watch them in the release order. That's the only thing I can tell you. Same like Star Wars, just watch it in release order. There's like no point of like trying to get into the chronology of everything. But yeah, pretty much we're gonna just talk about First Class and Days of Future Past. I've noticed that there are like my words cut out a bit, but I think you get the gist. I hope that it doesn't cut out anymore. But anyways, let's start. I just thought it was funny like Stryker being a nepo baby. I forgot that his like William Stryker Sr. is in First Class as like the CIA operative, and then him becoming like Trask's second hand, and like yeah, I just don't know why I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, nepotism, like in a way. I don't really know how the US military system works. I don't know if this is necessarily nepotism, but who cares? Anyways, also in First Class, I don't know like when they were first of all, Darwin, why the hell did he die? This man is supposed to adapt to anything. And also I was also thinking like the Sentinels, like they wanted to take like Mystique's DNA to get into this. I was like, imagine if they used Darwin's. Like, wouldn't that not be like way better? Like the Sentinels can adapt rather than just like change appearance and stuff. I thought that would be cooler, but it's okay. And like they were talking about mutant kind being enslaved, and they just panned to Darwin. Like they were going on this monologue rant about like, and they just only panned to Darwin. They didn't pan to anyone else. Like, and then they killed him off. Like, you're talking about mutant kind being enslaved, you pan to him and then you kill the guy off. Come on now. And like, they had this whole monologue and they didn't pan to anyone else. Well, anywho's, I was just thinking about also in Days of Future Past, like Magneto taking the whole arena and surrounding the White House with this massive like arena stadium. I just keep calling it arena because it just reminds me of like a gladiator arena. Like in a way, like he wants to go end Raven, and they're just watching two mutants fight out almost, and it's like the government, like the president, who's like almost like the king, like watching them fight out like a proper gladiator style arena. Have I seen the Gladiator film? I think I have, maybe ages ago. Not the second one, definitely not. But yeah, like you learn about it in school when you talk about like gladiators and arenas and stuff. But I just thought it was interesting, like the government watching two mutants fight out. But obviously, she chose the high road. And then also like the overall cinematography, like the whole time I was like, this movie looks so good. Like this movie looks like amazing. Like everything about it. There's like so many, even the first film, so many shots where I was like, this looks amazing. Like in the first film when they're sitting on like those steps, I don't know anything about US monuments, it's where the Abraham Lincoln monument is and they're playing chess. I was like, this is a really good scene. And then just the most of Days of Future Past, I was like, this scene is so good. I just thought it was quite good. And obviously the first Class is directed by Matthew Vaughn, who did the Kingsman films, which you can tell very much in the style of like the recruitment of everyone. It did feel a bit like Kingsman in a way. I do think that in First Class, when they recruited everyone together and then they were only like together for like 5 minutes in the film, and then they got like split in a way, like all of them together. Like Darwin died, Angel like left them and went to the other team. Yeah, I just thought it was like that was way too short of a time for them to be together. But it did very much feel like Kingsman. And the second one was written by, I think he was a writer, or a producer, I'm not too sure. I can't be asked to look it up. But and then Bryan Singer's the director. I hate Bryan Singer. Oh my god, I might have to bleep that. I hate Bryan Singer. I really do. That film, like, is so good. Like, Days of Future Past is, like, it's in my top 4 faves in Letterboxd. I don't know why. It's, like, the only superhero film that, like, I would recommend to people, like, because when you tell people, oh, I'm into superhero films, they just immediately assume, oh, you like Deadpool, oh, you like the MCU, and I do love the MCU, like, I grew up with that, but, like, the X-Men films have a different place in my heart, because I was watching with my cousin. She's seen them when she was little. She saw the X-Men films, but she's not seen it recently, and she just thought that she liked it so much better because it's not the same, like, formulaic story that all the MCU films seem to have. It's different in its own way, and obviously it's because they're messing with the timeline in a way, and it was just a lot more interesting. And there's so many things that you can say that they could have done differently, and after Days of Future Past it's go a bit downhill, but apart from that, like, it's a very, like, good, exciting film. Like, it's one of those films that even no matter how many times I watch a film, this film, I will just watch it won't take my eyes off the screen, whereas I get bored really quickly anywhere else. The only time I took my phone out was to write notes about what I'm thinking about. Otherwise, if it's a film that I've, like, seen before, I'll probably take my phone out. Like, not in the cinema, but, like, at home. Like, I get bored really easily when I know exactly what's gonna happen and I'm not being, like, excited, kind of. This is one film that I will not look at my phone for because I love this film. I love this film so much. Also, it's just interesting to compare this film, Days of Future Past, to the animated version. I watched the animated version, like, a long time ago. I'm not entirely sure of the details. Probably should have rewatched it for this, like, commentary. But I do remember, like, they use a time machine instead in the animated one, which it would have been cool, but also I think in the trajectory of the films where the world is destroyed and mutants are enslaved, it makes sense in a way of, like, just phase it, like use Kitty to, like, phase his consciousness through time. But and, like, the whole time, honestly, the Rogue cut, like, Rogue was not in that film until the end when, like, Wolverine comes back. And, like, there's a Rogue version with her in it. Like, they just didn't have her in the end of it, like, in the film, in the end cut, which sucked. Because the whole time, whenever Kitty and Bobby were, like, getting close, I was getting pissed off. I was, like, kidding. And then, well, at the end, all of a sudden Kitty's teaching a class, and Rogue and Bobby are back together. And I'm like, come on. Look at him now, though. All I can think about is the actor, because he was in Smallville on one episode. And the whole time I was like, oh my god, that's Bobby! Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any ideas for any other videos. I do have some ideas. I might want to do, like, a James Gunn Superman video, or maybe some gameplays or something. Just let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, you know the gist. Bye, guys!